Hey, it's me. Come on, man. So, like... Yeah! What's up? What? Why are you staring at my face?
Ryuji, I have a favor to ask.
A favor? Sure, you need some money for food or something?
Not this time. I've actually been mulling over a new battle tactic for a while now, and I'd like for you to lend a hand in bringing my idea to fruition.
Oh, a new move? That sounds badass. I totally want in.
Well, it's merely a rough idea at this point, but... What do you think?
Wasn't that, like, way more detailed than some rough idea?
I don't deserve such praise. I would merely prefer to add a splash of beauty to an otherwise barbaric battlefield, so to speak.
Sick! So, all we gotta do now is see how the star reacts to your idea, right?
We should consult Jose about this soon. However, I can feel my appetite growing after describing my idea.
Same here. It's so hot.
It's as if we're walking around in an enormous sauna.
Whose bright idea was it to come here?
Yours.
And just look at that crowd. Smiling faces everywhere you look. With that, let's move right into asking some of the visitors here for their comments.
A TV crew, huh?
We should grab our kebabs and get out of here.
Ah, let's interview those three.
Hey, is she talking about us?
What the?
Yeah. What do we do?
Good point. We'll look even more suspicious if we panic now.
They got us.
Oh, hell. Okay, I'm gonna ham it up and make some real cringy comments so they can't use any of the footage.
Hello. It sure is hot today, huh?
Oh, for sure. Yeah. And if it's this hot in July, can you imagine just how insane the weather's gonna be in December?
Anyway, since you're here for the festival, does that mean you and your friends there are meat lovers?
I'd say that we're really lovers of fruit. Oh, and sweets. Sweets are just to die for.
Well, thank you very much for your time.
Whew, that was too close.
That was truly cringeworthy. But are you certain that they won't air any of it?
I'm pretty sure she thought there was a broadcast disaster. We ought to be okay.
More important than that, though, it's time to get some meat.
Oh, right! My kebab! The lines for the food stalls were even more insane than the heat.
Standing around in this sweltering heat was rather trying.
And almost all the good stuff was already sold out.
I didn't even eat breakfast this morning. I'm starting to get lightheaded.
Even still, an occasion like this seems to make everything taste delicious. How mysterious.
That's pretty poetic, dude. Well, I came all the way out here, so we might as well go check that thing out.
What thing?
I heard they're building some kind of huge-ass stadium or something nearby. Wait, was that what it was?
You don't know what you're talking about, do you?
A stadium. Well, such buildings often have intriguing architecture. I'd love to see it for personal reference.
Yeah, then come on, let's go. So, that's it? It barely even started?
We seem to be premature spectators.
I guess this is what people call jumping the gum.
Jumping the gun.
There ain't nothing to do here. You wanna go grab a bite somewhere?
Sorry, I'm considering picking up more art supplies. I have a summer assignment to work on. Also, the summer festival drained my coffers. Even if I did grab a bite, all I could order would be water and a hot towel.
Well, in that case, probably ought to just call it quits for today.
Hey, isn't that Yoshizawa? Don't you think she's acting strange? You know, she did mention something about a meet earlier.
Ain't you guys headed home? Huh? Oh, well, see you then.
Yes, catch you later.
Senpai?
Yes. Did you come to see the stadium, too? Same here. I needed to give myself a pep talk. Sometimes, when things get me down, I come here. Although, that doesn't really answer your question, does it? I know this may get in the way of your plans, but would you be willing to join me for lunch? That was delicious. I'm always like this after a meet. In all honesty, I'd like to keep going, but any more will end up harming my performance. Simply put, it was a disaster. I've been feeling like I'm getting back into the natural flow of things, thanks to you, Senpai. But when the moment of truth arrived, my body still wouldn't move the way that I wanted it to. I think that's a big factor. Something similar happened to me in middle school, but back then, I had someone by my side that kept me going. I have a younger sister. We promised each other that we'd win international gymnastics competitions together. But this spring, she died in an accident. I promised her we'd take the gold for our routines across the world. But I can't stop worrying about my lack of improvement lately. I've really been throwing myself into practice, but I wonder if even that won't be enough. Senpai, you're right. It's just getting started. You just keep on rescuing me, don't you? Okay, no more brooding. There are still more meets left this year. I'm going to start from scratch and train as hard as I can. Thank you so much for listening to all that. Now I feel like I've been recharged. Mind, body, and spirit. Well, at least my mind and spirit are recharged. The best way to stave off hunger is with some vigorous activity. I'm going to jog home. Take care.
We finally made it to summer break. After an embarrassing moment at the summer festival, that new cutscene we just saw with Ryuji, the gang goes out for the fireworks festival just like in the original and get rained out. All the while, I'm using Chihiya's fortune telling to help me improve certain stats that I plan on increasing that day. It costs a good amount of money, but at this point, you should have quite a bit at your disposal, and the opportunity to make more is coming up soon. But what's going to really help us get back on track is increasing her social link just a bit further. When we get her to rank 5, we can start making up for lost time with An. Soon enough, Alibaba messages us during our final week in class and reveals they want the group to change the heart of Futaba Sakura, a girl that Sojiro reveals that he had adopted after the tragic death of her mother. Futaba herself seems very willing to let us into her palace, but some deeper trauma boots us out, and it looks like we're gonna have to do things the hard way after all. In preparation for the future, I start working on my kindness stat while also juggling my confidence. I'm going to have to max it out before I can continue Sojiro's confident, as well as even bothering to start Futaba's later on down the line. I'm also balancing gaining guts so I can finally begin my confident with the airsoft shop owner EY. At the start of summer, your friends start showing up at LeBlanc to hang out. I'm ahead of the game in increasing my charm stat, and I have no fear in losing points towards Yusuke's confident. So, to make up for lost time, I'm going to increase Makoto's confident a bit early in the hopes that I can spend some time with on one of her days. I spend time with Ryuji the next day, and now that Kawakami's confident is maxed, she allows me to utilize her services for free. So every chance you get to make SP items like coffee or curry, take advantage of those moments. She even washes clothes for you that you find in dungeons, which saves you money on buying armor from EY, as the armor you find from recent dungeons often outranks his stock. Futaba's palace is structured pretty much the same way. However, there are plenty of spots that add in the hookshot to change up a bit of the physical layout. I'm a bit divided on the hookshot, honestly. It feels almost inconsequential, except for the small bits of the dungeon that have been repurposed for the sole reason of making the hookshot a necessity. And even then, I think the hookshot is only really there to hide away some new dungeon layout, such as one of Futaba's will seeds later down the line. In that aspect, I have no problem with it, but it does feel like the hookshot is just kind of there. It's not used very often, and when it is, you don't really think twice about it, honestly. I think the good thing about this palace layout is that it does utilize the space well for the new exploration mechanics, and the will seeds are kind of just tucked away in nearby places that are on your way to the next area, so they're fairly hard to miss. If you're like me and you have the binary puzzle written down from your original playthrough, while in the original you needed both the blue side and the red side to be solved to progress, the red puzzle is only necessary if you want the second will seed. But at that point, you might as well, especially if you already know the answer. The last will seed is the only one you have to really go out of your way to find, and it involves, you guessed it, the grappling hook. All you really gotta do is just keep going up and you found it. Beat the boss and claim your prize. The boss in Futaba's palace is pretty much the same as last time too. In fact, it might be the one boss that there aren't very many additions made to in this game. Futaba has some extra lines and you have some dialogue choices, but other than that, the only real thing that changes is Futaba sometimes produces a shield that protects you from Wakaba's attack. But other than that, the boss is pretty much the same. It still takes forever to damage and get to the thresholds in which you can shoot it down and finally finish it off. So of all the bosses, this one is probably the longest simply because of that. But after delivering the final shot, we can say goodbye to Futaba's palace and move on. We get Chihaya to rank 5, which allows us to spend money to increase points towards our confident rank, which means we finally get on ranked up, and now we're back to following the originally planned schedule. By using Makoto's time slot that we already used earlier instead of spending time with Yusuke, we managed to get on up to the proper rank. And now that we're back on schedule, the Wardens would like to see another part of the world.
What are you saying? What? Excuse me? Let us return.
The only thing of note left that I have to say about the remainder of the video is that I spend an awful lot of time with Yusuke, Chihaya, the Star Arcana, Ifumi, and occasionally EY. There's also some moments where I'm taking on jobs, and that'll be the case for the rest of the month as well, where I will be taking on part-time jobs in order to identify a suspect who will be taken out in mementos later on. So I will end the video with that. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. So until then, stay tuned.